What's up, YouTube? Eugene here. Hope you're all well. Going to be looking at the new Rouge Trafalgar from Maison Dior today, and a little bit of a disappointment in that, I must say. But firstly, I want you guys to know that I am a fan of Christian Dior, regardless of all the things that I've said, the constructive criticism that I've been putting on this brand. But I really do feel like, and I've been saying this for years, some of you haven't been listening, but the brand's going down the toilet, and Francois Demachy is the one flushing, and he's the one in charge. So he's the one responsible for a lot of what's going on. And I don't say this too loosely. I really feel like they've fell off the tracks, at one time, leaders in this industry. They've lost a lot of integrity, a lot of character, a lot of creativity. And by integrity, I mean, by discontinuing Dior Homme. And when I say discontinuing, I mean like leaving it in one perfume shop in the whole world. It's basically inaccessible for a lot of us. So it's basically discontinued or really exclusive and hard to get. So getting rid of, Dior Homme, which was a trailblazer, and replacing it with what they're giving us now, 2020, is just really unacceptable for a brand that's really been a leader for ages. And creatively, they've lost a lot. They were once cutting edge, really innovative, leaders of the pack. Now they're just, copying trends or waiting to see what everyone else is going to do before they make a move. The whole Maison Dior line's gone to shit, basically. They've all really gone to very light, fruity florals, very uninspiring, kind of bland. Almost themes of different things. I notice a lot of the florals, and it almost seems like they are catering to Chinese money, to the Asian market. They've taken a lot of, the fine French style perfumes away. The stuff with flair, with boldness, anything that seemed to be unique, they've taken it away, and they've excluded it to Paris, making it hard for the world to get. But they've made all these fruity florals accessible to the Asian clientele that like this style of perfume. So they are really marketing to a different part of the globe. Chasing money, that's what it is. But a lot of the things that I smelled were, they were almost like J'adore iterations with peach, or J'adore with pear, or just very basic white florals, lily of the valley, rose, jasmine, and just that kind of blend, but mixed up a little here, mixed up a little there, throw in a peach, throw in a pear, and some vanilla ice cream, and here you go. A $300 exclusive Dior that should have been, in an $85 to $100 Dolce & Gabbana bottle, because it's just definitely not what it used to be. So when I've gone and smelled Rouge Trafalgar, which I had no idea really what it was, but the Dior marketing team will have you believe it's red berries, black currant, cherries, mandarin, grapefruit, that kind of thing, inspired by their makeup line, their Trafalgar dress, or red dress, or whatever the hell that means. It's not really any of that. I don't really find this a fruity or a berry fragrance. It's got aspects of sourness, of tartness, but not once did I ever feel like I was smelling a cherry or a black currant. It's mostly synthetics, so they can tell us whatever it is we're smelling, but synthetics can replicate a number of different things or be used for a number of different reasons or ideas or perceptions. But it was only about an hour long I had this on skin before I realized what the hell was going on. And Francois Demachy has done it again. He's been inspired by another very successful perfume, and this time it's Baccarat Rouge 540. The first comparison I get is the really sugary, sucrosy, fructosy feeling of this very, very sweet woods. It's a little bit more dense than Baccarat Rouge 540 with a little bit more heft, but you know, it's got that sweet woods, a hit of incense, a little bit of that herbaceous fir balsam, maybe some sandalwood, a synthetic sandalwood, and it's all very, very sweet, woody, tart. It's all well made nonetheless. I mean, I do like the fragrance for what it is, what itself is, but the whole inspired by theme I'm getting tired of really, really fast. Baccarat Rouge 540 has been a successful hit ever since it's been released. You know, its popularity is almost rivaled with Ventus. So, you know, clearly, again, Christian Dior is looking to cash in on this trend. Baccarat Rouge 540 is probably one of the most copied perfumes since its release. But what I really loved about, and I am a fan of Baccarat Rouge 540. I know it's kind of love, hate, very controversial, to be honest. I'm a fan of Baccarat Rouge 540, regardless of the sweetness. I'm not a fan of the sweetness. I can handle it in the moment, but the next day when I pick up my shirt to smell and I get a whiff of that Baccarat Rouge 540, I find it absolutely repulsive and toothacheingly sweet. But what I loved about BR 540 was its technical aspects. Very lightweight, very transparent, and it plays that peekaboo game. I'm here, I'm not, I'm gone, I'm around the corner, I'm back again. And just, it had this airy substance to it, just very transparent and no heft at all. This is much heavier and it's more dense and it has a little bit more character. So this not only copies, you know, the synthetics, the ethyl maltol, but also the smell. But more importantly, technically, the way this starts, it's very, you know, comparable to Baccarat Rouge 540, where they're both kind of very laser focused, very sharp, very crisp. And they just kind of, from there, you know, it goes like this, a tunnel vision, to the way it morphs. They both kind of grow like this. So very sharp to this very large, powdery cloud of fogginess is how they dry down to. So the similarities are undeniably obvious. You know, you only need half a nostril to figure this out. And I'm almost thinking, you know, since the huge number of releases that Dior has been doing, that maybe even FK had a hand in this. Maybe he created it himself and Francois Demachy took the credit. Maybe he sold them an iteration of Baccarat Rouge 540, number 86. Because we know Francis Kurkdjian has worked with Christian Dior before. We know Dior's worked with a number of outside perfumers. And just by the sheer number of releases that they've been putting out, it's outstanding. It's way too much for one perfumer to handle all this. I think it's like 16 releases in the private line in the Maison Christian Dior line. And then, you know, the reworking of Dior Homme. It's just way too much for one perfumer to handle. So, you know, the whole let's go after this popular release. We're really familiar with this. It's not the first time Dior's done this. You know, they've done it with Sauvage. You know, Sauvage was their response to Chanel's Bleu. Joy, the women's release Joy, was their response to Chanel's Allure for women. Even the Spice Blend in the private line in the Maison Christian Dior is another FK similarity. So when I smelled Spice Blend, it was like, it was a nice fragrance. I thought it was really lovely. It was well made. I'm not really sure if it felt like a Dior exclusive, something that would better be fit in a, in an $85 to $100 designer bottle. But it did remind me of a little bit of Spice Bomb and a little bit of Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. Very spicy, fresh spicy, but not really as bold as, we've come to expect from Christian Dior. So all in all, I have to say I do like Rouge Trafalgar for what it is, but I don't like what's going on at Christian Dior. I'm really disappointed. I feel almost like we've been taken, we've been duped, and like they're pulling a fast one on us. So it's really frustrating to watch this once juggernaut of a perfume brand just literally go down the shitter. And I almost wonder, does Demachy have some sort of a complex? Like, why does he always feel the need to be inspired by other successful perfumes? There's not many perfumes that he's done himself that have been very bold or unique or creative. And outside of Leather Oud and maybe Eau d'Isfahan, I can't really think of, a whole lot. But I'd really like to see, for him to disappear from Dior and for them to find a new head perfumer. But if that day and age will ever come, I don't know if I'll be around. But that's basically what I'm getting from Rouge Trafalgar, is a Baccarat Rouge. Very, very inspired smell. It's not 100% the same, but it's way too close for me not to notice and be annoyed by it. But it's what it is. So I'm sure a lot of you have smelt this, and if not, you probably will in the coming, weeks, months. And when you do, let me know what you guys think. Do you see the similarities? It's become a common theme, and hopefully it'll end soon. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.